We're going to get to all of that. We got a lot to talk about. This always feels like Christmas Day for me.
Yeah. You know, it's the beginning of another season. You know, nobody knows how to approach a new season better than the young man we're getting ready to talk to in a second. Obviously, his assessment of the last couple of years, having won a championship, he knows exactly what needs to be done, and it's going to be interesting to see, you know, what the king or the Kang,
by the way, big game,
has to say.
It is time. We welcome in, entering his 4th season in the purple and gold, his 19th season overall, 35,367 points, but I don't care about that because he is an NFL analyst. Now, LeBron James, man, that was fun. I got welcome, by the way, LeBron, welcome.
I appreciate it. Oh, that was a hell of an introduction, Chris. Okay. I appreciate that, man.
You know I get excited for these things. And I got to tell you, LeBron, Allie and I, true story, we're on the phone last night. We're talking media day. We're going through our questions. And then you came on ESPN2 with the Manning brothers. We literally hung up on each other. We never spoke again. I loved it. I got my one question before we get into basketball. My one question. Peyton Manning puts you on the spot. Man, there's only like 2 seconds left, and he says, what play are they running? You were smooth under fire. You said handoff to Zeke, touchdown, bang. Peyton erupted. How fun was that moment?
No, it was very fun, man. I'm a big-time football guy, so I was just reading the defense like I do in basketball. I seen that the Eagles only had 3 defensive linemen. Their linebackers was playing deep, and they had just ran the halfback draw the play before and got a bunch of yards. So I felt like they'd go right back to it because Philly didn't change their defense. So I was able to call it on the spot, and you know, I appreciate Mike McCarthy and the offensive coordinator making me look good.
Allie and I's favorite part was when Peyton basically scolded Eli and said, LeBron is the system. All right, don't ask that question.
Eli was trying to do it the right way. Peyton was like, let's keep it real.
Right. You know, that's what happened. That's the big brother. Hey, that's the big brother for you.
Listen, LeBron, you're entering your 19th season. I think at this point, you know, you're the league's 3rd all-time leading scorer. Most guys are kind of, you know, sailing off into the sunset. That just doesn't seem to be your style. So I will ask you this. I think I ask you every year. What's your excitement level heading into this training camp, year 19?
I'm super excited. You know, I know for sure that I won't be able to sleep tonight just going into the first day of practice tomorrow. I love the group that we put together this summer. And, you know, I love the growth of the guys that's coming back. And I can't wait. I mean, this is going to be I can feel it. I can feel the energy. You know, I can feel the aura. And it's all about now just putting in the work. It's all about trusting, you know, the process, working towards the process every single day. But I love this. I love the beginning. I love what we have to start, and looking forward to getting to work.
You know, LeBron, even as a young player, I remember you knowing how to understand the process of putting together the missing pieces or adding on players. And, you know, over your career, you've been very successful at that. Talk about the additions and what's been made this year, the players that are coming in, and what you see their value added and how that's going to play out in your opinion.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be grand for our team. I mean, we've added a lot of shot making. We've added some dynamic players that could do multiple things with the ball in their hands, without the ball in their hands. We added some length, some vertical spacing, you know, that we lost last year. You know, bringing back Dwight, adding DeAndre, you know, and you know, the dynamic and Russ and what he brings to the team, just his energy, his pace, his competitive nature. You know, we brought back, you know, championship players, you know, Trevor Ariza, you know, bring back Doe. And then just guys, unsung guys that, you know, a lot of people, I don't know if they know about, but they're going to be bringing so much to our team. You know, and Kent Bazemore, Kendrick Nunn, you know, what they bring to the table is ridiculous. Wayne Ellington's shot ability. And let me not forget, you know, the growth, once again, another summer for Taylor Horton-Tucker, THT. You know, I'm excited about him and what he's going to bring to our team. So we're dynamic. We have the ability to do a lot of different things out on the floor, you know, but it's up to us to put the time in, which we will. You know, I'm going to hold this team accountable. They're going to hold me accountable, so I'm not worried about that.
And we welcome in Taylor Horton-Tucker in his 3rd year THT, but I believe You're still 20, and you're still the youngest guy on the Lakers.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy to think about that.
Man.
Hey, I got to ask you this first before we get
crazy.
into hoops. Your first time ever at an NFL game, how was SoFi Stadium with King James?
It was great. It was a great experience for me with it being my first NFL game. To be there with those guys is, it's a great experience for me. So, I'm appreciative of it.
Jalen, did you ever, really quick, did you play football in high school?
When I was younger, and like before high school, I wanted to play in high school, but they told me not to. But when I was younger, my mom she told me I had to pick one after I broke my hand. So it's been basketball ever since.
I think it worked out just well for you.
Big Game was assuming
I'm
you
happy.
were.
I made the right decision.
Big Game James was assuming you were a Bears fan, right?
The
Big
Bears fan?
Oh yeah, I'm Chicago, so I'm going to Chicago.
Walter Payton? Walter Payton? Nah, you're probably too young for Walter Payton.
Sweetness.
Yeah.
I know about him, but how old I am. So.
Is it weird? Is it weird that Anthony Davis is a Packers fan, being from where he's from? Does that bother you a little bit?
At first, when I heard about it, it was crazy. But being from Chicago, I've seen a few Chicago people in Packer uniforms. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to dive into it.
To
You're 20 years old. He's got a championship, Allie and James, with the team that drafted him.
Yeah.
Big game, your Los Angeles Lakers. And now they showed you how much they believe in you, THT, by offering you that contract. What's the next step for you in your journey? What's the next step in your game that you want to prove?
I just want to improve in every way that I can. Just coming in with a mindset of just trying to get better. With this group with the group of guys that we have here, I feel like there's no way possible that I can't get better around these guys. So just being able to come in ready and just ready to compete, be important for me. So I'm excited.
Kent, welcome back to the Lakers. Haven't seen you since 2014 with this franchise. What brought you back?
I love the energy around the organization and. Being in some tougher situations over the past couple of years, this is a tough league. It's a man league. You grow up, you add family, you add all these other responsibilities. And, when free agency started, I heard from, Rob Pelinka, Frank Vogel, I heard from a lot of people on the staff that were, really excited to have me, become a part of this team. And the energy around the situation, trying to win, really putting all the eggs in the basket to get, number 18 really resonated with me. And now I know what it really means to put on this Laker jersey and try to do the unthinkable. Being a 10-year vet, undrafted, it's been a crazy ride. So. I wanted to go to a place where I would give myself the best chance, to accomplish some of my dreams.
So many different faces on this team, 10 in all.
Yep.
How's the chemistry, though? You guys obviously had a pretty good trip to Vegas over the weekend.
Yeah, it's been amazing, man. I mean, you got a lot of guys that just get it. A lot of guys have been around the block. A lot of guys, you're getting, with the younger teams, they have a lot of players trying to find out who they are, as players, as people. But we got guys here that been around the block that have weathered so many storms and that are seasoned, and great mix of young players too. Malik Monk, Kendrick Nunn, undrafted guy, Austin Reeves. So it's a really good mix of youth and experience.
Let's talk about your role. You're a 3-and-D guy. That's what you've kind of shown over the years. Do you expect to start or come off the bench? And what do you think you can bring to this team?
I'm just bringing 100% energy and effort. I've always hung my hat on the defensive end, and Coach Vogel, he echoes that a lot. Defense is everything. Defense wins championships. Back in 2020, when this team won the championship, they were tremendous defensively. So it's something I'm looking forward to. The task of taking that tough assignment every night and giving it my all, being a glue guy, being a great teammate, keeping us together.
Yeah, this team's also going to score a lot of points, aren't they?
Oh yeah, I mean we're going to get out and run, but it starts with defense. If we're defending at a high level every night, it's going to be that Showtime Laker basketball everyone's looking for with Russ and Bron, AD attacking out in the break. Me running the lanes and a lot of shooting. We got some 40% tray ball shooters here, so it's going to be a lot of threes raining as well.
Yeah, and you're one of them. 41% last season. I don't remember that skill when you were with the Lakers. It was good, but you've really refined it over the years.
Exactly. Once you start playing, you understand what keeps you on the floor. Playing defense and knocking down threes. I played in Atlanta back in my first year in 2015, and I really perfected the corner three, and that kept me on the floor down the stretch. And as I've gotten older, just learning which ones to take. Playing to your strengths and being ready to shoot is a really big thing. And I know that Brian, Russ, and AD are going to attract so much attention getting into the paint. And Rondo being a great passer that he is, just being ready to shoot and letting it fly.
AD is on the way. He's here. He's got the headset on. Newlywed. Packers are actually playing some good football all of a sudden. AD, it's good to be you right now, isn't it?
Lakers season's back it's been a great week.
Oh, then there's that too.
Weeks.
Yeah. Lakers.
Oh yeah, the Lakers. Yeah, the Lakers are starting too. Thanks, Alec. Thanks for doing the job right. Alec.
Can I start this off first
Yes,
before
please.
we get into basketball?
Yes, please.
Because again, congratulations to you on getting married. That is amazing. That's awesome. But I want to know, what's more accomplishing for you?
It's a good
Hitting the game winner versus Denver in the Western Conference Finals, or nailing your performance to your now wife?
Oh, I know this answer.
Listen, yes. You know that it's only one answer I can say.
Thank you.
I can't get in trouble this early.
Marvin Gaye.
Smart man.
Hey, listen, I had a great time. It was fun. I think the performance of my wife was definitely the better performance. It had a blast. We had a great time.
I don't know if you know this, AD. Big Game can sing as well. Big Game, you rate him pretty high as a singer. I mean, it takes guts, Big Game, to do what he did.
I mean, you got the pipes.
He's got the pipes.
You got the pipes. nice little baritone, different octaves, cool under pressure.
We about to go on tour.
You know what? We can do a little duo at some point. I know you have other things to focus on, but yeah, cool under pressure and passion. You got a little Marvin Gaye in you, brother. I'm telling you.
I love that we're 3 minutes in, Allie. I love that we're 3 minutes in. We haven't even thought about a basketball question yet.
Wife, happy life, happy wife.
Now we can get to the Lakers. Go ahead, Allie. You go first.
AD, when you finished season after, obviously, that first round exit, I have been very excited to talk to you because you were excited about getting back to your off-season routine. What did that look like? What was a day in the life this summer in terms of hoops for Anthony Davis?
Yeah, just getting my body right. I was very disappointed in our first round exit, more so myself just because of all the injuries. Can't blame anyone else. I mean, we can say the shorter off season, and it kind of did have an effect on a lot of guys' bodies around the league. But for me, I just want to get back to my 12 to 14, 16 week all-season training that I'm accustomed to get my body prepared for a season. And I was able to do that this summer. I feel great. Body is healthy. I'm excited to go back out and show the world what I've been doing. And I've been keeping it under wraps. I had no cameras. I don't do the cameras and stuff anyway doing workouts. But
only if you're singing.
Yeah, only if I'm singing. That's it. But I try to keep it under wraps and just try to keep my head down and just work this summer.
Yeah, I love that about you. And whether it's, listen, AD, whether it's reports or talk around NBA or Lakers, when it comes to you, it's always about playing more center. It's really a topic I think that's probably talked about too much. That being said, does that make it? Is there a different mindset, or did it change the way you prepared for this offseason?
No. To be honest, it was kind of the same way. But as far as the center thing, I have no problem with it. Me and Frank had numerous conversations about it. Me, LB, and Russ had conversations about it. And they really want to get my opinion on how I felt about it, and I'm cool with it. I think it helps our team. Now, obviously, it's going to be games and where DJ and Dwight start at center, but I think the plan now is to start me at center or maybe start them and come out. I'm not sure how Frank really got it set, but I know I will be playing center a lot more than I did last year.
Yeah, I think wherever you play, it's going to be beneficial for the team. I'm old school. I like inside out first, and then you can do whatever you want. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your off-season workout, because I know in my career it took me 2 or 3 years to realize that the stronger my body is, the more I could withstand, the more I could, take on injuries and things of that nature. How have you felt about that at this point of your career, given the fact that you do take a lot of punishment night in and night out, the way teams play you physically, and how that has worked out for you in the offseason?
Yeah, so my first year here, I had a great offseason, and I forgot, I played, I think, about like 72 games or something like that, and a couple of them was just because of, rest. The whole entire playoffs didn't miss a game, and like I said, last year was kind of a season that I want to put behind me because of all the injuries and the amount of time that I missed, not being able to help my team on the floor and not from the sideline. So it's a huge part. It's a huge part in what us athletes go through. And I realized the same thing you realize, that the stronger your body is, and the more you train your body in the off season, and also maintaining during the season, you can withstand those injuries, because you never know how you're going to fall, or the position that you have to move in. But if you train in various positions and able to lift a lot of weights and strengthen the muscles and the ligaments in your body, then you have a high percentage chance of withstanding those minute injuries, or the bigger injuries that some people have gotten in the past season. So I feel great. Like I said, I've been training my butt off, I'm gonna say the other word, to make sure that I'm available to my team whenever they need me.
DeAndre, you played 10 years with the Clippers. Now you're back in this city of LA. How does it feel to be with the Lakers?
It feels great, man. Everybody knows, I was with the Clippers for 10 years before, and this was the first 10 years of my career, obviously, and it was a great time for me here, playing for the Clippers, playing in LA. And now to come back full circle and just be across the street is awesome. And like I was telling some people earlier, my favorite color is purple, so it kind of works out fine. But I'm excited to be here playing with these guys and have a chance to compete for something.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying, hey, the Lakers, they could go all the way. How important is it for you guys to kind of put that in a box and put it away and just kind of go week to week? I mean, we know what our goal is. We know what ultimately we want to do here with the roster that we have, with the great group of guys that we have. And we know what our mindset is. So we just have to build off of that every day and continue to get better. And not focus on the outside noise, but worry about ourselves. The Lakers, great defense last season, #1 in the entire NBA in defensive rating. Lost some guys via free agency and via trades and that sort of thing. Are you going to help try to reestablish that defensive mindset? Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to bring to the team, to bring to any team that I'm on. I'm excited about that. My role doesn't change very much. Being able to. Oh, they make fun of you over there, look. Being able to. I'm sorry, I can't think of my teammates. We got blocked them out over there. Yeah. So. No, we're just talking about your defensive mindset before they started hazing you over there. My job is to protect the rim for us, alter shots, block shots, be able to intimidate in the paint down there, and grab every rebound that I possibly can. And I'm sure Dwight, AD, a lot of our bigs are going to be able to do that. Yeah, AD, one of the guys over there who's yelling out to you. Yeah. People are saying he looks good. He looks great. What do you see from him, just in body changes? Anthony Davis is a hell of a basketball player, man, on both ends of the floor. So just to be able to have him fully healthy and his mindset ready to go this year is going to be even better for our team, and we're all excited about that. And I can't wait to get on the floor with all of these guys. Now, you've played, 14 years in the league? 13 years? This is 14. This is 14. You set a career best for field goal percentage last season in Brooklyn, about 76%. How'd that happen? Most people kind of go down in that category as they progress through the years. I know what my strengths are, and I try to take high percentage shots for me, and whenever my teammates give me the ball, I'm trying to convert and score. So. We talked about defense. This team is also going to score a lot of points, isn't it? It's going to be fun to watch. It is going to be fun to watch. We have so many guys that are capable of scoring a lot of points, but those same guys are also capable of, averaging 10-plus assists. So
You know, with the many threats that we have, playmakers, guys being able to drive and get to the paint, guys being able to shoot the basketball, and finish at the rim with lob threats. I think that we're going to be tough. We got to find a way to put it all together, but I think we'll be fine.
And one last question for you. In talking with some of the guys already, they said that the trip to Vegas was good for you guys for bonding purposes, and you got on the court as well.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you guys covered X's and O's wise?
We were able to, you know, it was obviously, you know, LeBron set everything up, so it was led by players that have been here before, and it was good to be able to get out there and just kind of like go over some things that we're gonna go over in training camp and try to just get a head start with the guys. And it was a player initiative, so it was really cool to be able to get out there and just kind of get a head start a little bit.
I lied. One more for you. Are you starting? Are you coming off the bench? Do you know yet?
I don't know. It don't matter.
Doesn't matter. You did both last year?
Yeah. To me, it don't matter. You know, it's bigger than one person, so I just want to come out here and contribute as much as I can and help us win games.
After more than a decade away, Trevor Ariza is back with the purple and gold. He was on the 2009 championship Lakers. Last season, he was with the Heat. 28 minutes per game, just under 10 points, shot 35% from 3, 5 rebounds a game. Trevor Ariza's with Mike Bresnahan.
Trevor, back with the Lakers. It's been a little while. What brought you back here to this franchise?
Man, it was time to come home. It was time to be home. It's time to be here. My children are here. Everything I got going on is here. My family is here. So it just made sense at this time for me to come back home and put this jersey back on.
A lot of new faces on this team. What have you seen so far, and how do you think this team will do?
Well, obviously the goal is always to win a championship. This franchise has, 17 of them, so every year the goal is to win a championship. But with this team, it's a unique team of extremely talented individuals, and I'm excited to see how the chemistry is going to come together and, how the pieces fit. But it's exciting. I'm looking forward to getting to work with these gentlemen every day, and I'm ready to play.
Now, you averaged 28 minutes a game, about 10 points a game last year from Miami. Do you know what your role is going to be yet for this team?
My role has been the same role throughout my career. I guard players, hit open shots, I make plays. I just fit into whatever the coaches and my team needs of me.
How's this team going to look with Russ and LeBron and AD as the big three?
Well, I think that's scary. They're all completely unique players. It's not too many of those players like that, and to have 3 of them on the same team, that's dangerous for anybody.
This team's going to put up a lot of points, isn't it?
This team is going to play well. Obviously every game is going to be a different game, but I expect this team to do a lot of things, put up a lot of points, and play great on the defensive end as well.
Yeah, you mentioned defense. Obviously, really good defenders here the last few years. Really good defenders here the last few years. Some of them got left or got traded away. How does this team compensate for that? Obviously, you're one of those pieces.
Well, again, in this league, it's hard to stop any player individually. So to supplement the players that did leave out, I think you got to do it by committee. And we brought in some unbelievable defenders with Dwight coming back, obviously AD, DeAndre being rim protectors, the length that we have, the IQ that we have, and all those things meshed into one and working together is, it's a pretty good appetite.
How's the team bonding so far? You guys had a really good trip to Vegas, as I understand it. How was that for you guys?
Man, it was great, man. We got days in the court. We got time to hang out with each other, learn each other. A lot of laughs, a lot of good times, really good dinners. There's a lot of guys who make some pretty good money on this team, so the dinners were phenomenal.
Nice. Yeah, not exactly going for fast food every night.
Nah. No In-N-Out.
Who doesn't love In-N-Out, though, right?
I love In-N-Out.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
The time on the court, what would you guys do? Obviously, nothing too crazy, I'm guessing, but what was that like?
Nah, it was just getting used to each other, trying to implement some of the things that we're gonna do as a team. A lot of things that just getting to know each other and knowing our spots on the court, knowing what we like to do, understanding each other.
People are saying, hey, let's just fast forward to the finals, put Brooklyn against the Lakers. I mean, it's a good sign for how good you guys are, but that's kind of a dangerous way of thinking, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that's not the mindset that we have. We understand that in order to, I mean, obviously you want to be there in the beginning of the year. You think about those things, but we know that it's a long process before you get there. Preseason, practices, 82-game season plus playoffs, and you can't overlook anybody in this league. We're all here for a reason, always here for a reason, and you know, to overlook anybody would be cheating the process. And we got a lot of guys that's been in this league for a long time that understand you cannot cheat the process. You have to go through all of these ups and downs to build character for your team, so that when you get
Oh, he's here. All right, look at him. He looks good. He's the all-time leader in NBA history with triple-doubles. Allie's already clapping. He's a 9-time All-Star. Big Game James has a huge smile on his face. He led the league in assists last year. I'm talking about Russell Westbrook in a Laker uniform. How we doing, Russ? Thanks for joining us, man.
Man, I'm great. Thank you guys for having me. I'm doing well. I'm excited about the season, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, I got to say, you're not new to Media Day in a new city, but this city is L.A. The team, it's the Lakers, the team you kind of grew up rooting for. You went to UCLA. This is your home. I remember when you first got traded and you spoke to the media, you kind of said it hadn't sunk in yet. Maybe it was surreal. How would you describe your feelings today going into this moment in your first practice?
I mean, it's still surreal. I think honestly, it probably won't hit me until like opening night or something, but I'm still just kind of figuring everything out, soaking it all in, like, you know, walking around Media Day. Every once in a while, I kind of look down at my jersey like, oh, you know, it's a Lakers jersey. Like, it's still all coming to me, but I'm just super excited. I cannot wait, you know, until we get this thing rolling, and especially rolling here with the Lakers. So,
you know, Russell, welcome back home, man. It's nice to have you. Man, I was riding down Van Nuys the other day, and I saw the big Russell Westbrook car dealership. I was just thinking, welcome home, brother.
well, yes, sir. Thank you.
Listen, man, it's so many questions, man. You're getting asked how you're going to flow with AD and LeBron and all that kind of stuff. But it's something I've always wanted to ask you, like just watching your career. How do you define, in your words, killer instinct?
Consistency. I believe that to be able to have a killer instinct, you got to be able to do it consistent. And I believe I learned something a long time ago, that being consistent is the hardest thing to do in this league. And doing the same thing every single night over and over takes a lot of time and energy and effort to be able to do so. And I take a lot of pride in being able to go out every night and leave it all on the floor and be able to have that killer instinct regardless of who I'm playing, regardless of the time, where I'm at, to be able to do it every night.
Big Game, that was a great question. And it kind of takes me to this point. Russell, welcome home. Great to see you.
Thank you.
With that said, I believe, too, that in order for the Lakers to do what they want to do, and that's obviously get back to the top, you, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, starting as the leaders, have to be the best version of yourself. And when you think of that, all the while walking that fine line of sacrifice, how do you do it?
You do what it takes for the betterment of the team. I think when you want to win, nothing can get in the way of that, the sacrifices you have to make. And the only thing that matters is what happens in this locker room and on our team, and that's all that I care about. And my job is to make sure that I can uplift and make my teammates better, making Bron and AD better players as the season prolongs, and along the way making teammates around us a lot better so that we ultimately can reach our goal, and that's to win the championship.
Russ, on our shows the last few weeks here, we've talked a lot about you joining this team, joining LeBron and AD, and as Ali mentioned, the sacrifice it takes, and it got me thinking. I mean, you've played with James Harden, you played with KD, Bradley Beal. Nobody knows more than you how to fit with other superstars. So I ask you the simple question: what are some of the keys to success, to like have that vision that you three have, to making it, you know, translate to winning?
For me, honestly, I like to learn my teammates, understand them, not just on the floor, but off the floor, because I think when you learn their goals, learn their aspirations, learning, you know, how they operate, it helps. Communication helps figure out what guys like, what they don't like. And in the basketball, for me, take care of itself. I'm all into making my teammates better. I want to be able to make those guys better, make the game easy for them. And I'll figure out how to play and figure myself out later on as the season goes along. But honestly, really, I just care about winning, and I've always just cared about winning. And to be able to win, AD and Bron, they have to be the best they've been, and it's my job to make sure that I'm there to support and do the things I can and make them better.
And oh, by the way, along the way, you like to have fun. I think that's what we've learned from you following social media.
Oh, man, so good on social media.
This is a two-part question. I actually hate two-part questions, but I'm going to do it right now. You were at Anthony Davis's wedding. How was the wedding?
Yes. The wedding was good. I had a lot of time dancing. It was great. It was good.
It was great. With that said,
AD singing.
We saw you in photos with Jared Dudley, someone who is beloved here in a Laker uniform, obviously won a championship. And it's been said that you picked his brain. You just wanted to know a little bit more.
Yeah.
What was it that you took from that conversation, and why was it important to have it?
Well, Doug's a good friend of mine, and he's obviously been around here. He knows the guys. He knows what it takes to win. He understands the organization, and to me, I just wanted to understand a little bit more about the guys, learn a little more about the organization, how things are ran. Where does he see kind of me fitting in? What does he see? Because he's been around, he understands what it takes. Been around AD, been around Bron, and I'm all in for listening. I always feel you can always learn more each and every day from anybody. And, I wanted to talk to him and understand a little bit more about kind of what was going on. So he was good for that. And, even though he's in Dallas, still can communicate. And, he's still a good friend of mine.
Like we got another one coming up next.
We do. We have someone that we are really, really happy he's back. I have to say, we were all really sad at this time last year. We talked about it on air because he left us. We understand. But he is back with us, and I'm talking about Dwight Howard. Did you even come close to missing us, the three of us, as much as we missed you? It's okay to be honest.
What? I did miss y'all. I did. I was actually looking at a picture of us on set last year when we did Media Day, the year before last, we did Media Day, and it was here in the practice facility. So I have that picture. Actually, my mama sent it to me.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Big game.
She's like,
I appreciate that.
Man,
Can I say Purple Rain on there?
Yeah.
His hair looks so good.
Purple Rain.
Yeah, babe. I love it.
By the way, the one thing we know, the team can sing, right? I mean, AD at his wedding.
Yes.
Dwight, we'll get into that a little later.
Hang on, no,
Go ahead. Jump in now. Start there.
Because I also want to make sure that wasn't acting on your part, because you did just win the Masked Singer.
The Masked Singer, Allie, bring it up.
Oh, Tutti Frutti.
Who's the
Tutti Frutti. A Tutti Frutti.
We might never get to basketball. What's that? When he's doing big game.
I got a girl named Sue.
Have we paid for all the rights to these songs? Because this is amazing.
So your mom loved the show, right? Was it your mom that loved the show?
My mom, that's her favorite show. That's her favorite show. She didn't know anything about it. We came out here to L.A., and I just took my family and everybody to Disney and had a good time. And then I surprised her at the end of the week.
Yeah, the
took her to the
costume.
Masked Singer.
Costume was on point.
Yeah,
man.
she cried. She cried.
Oh, that's
thank you so much. I had to get the purple colors. I can't go nowhere without the purple. And so I had to make the suit purple. And that's my mom's favorite color. It's her favorite show. And Tutti Frutti is actually my sister's favorite song.
Yeah.
Because that's her nickname, Tootie. So that's why I chose to sing that song. So I had a great time.
Hey, Dwight, I think you feel.
And I missed you guys.
Oh, man. Honestly, Dwight, we talked about this a year ago. We all felt like we got robbed because we didn't have a parade. And I love that you had mentioned that. Like, we always said, like, you and Duds at that parade would have been the MVPs at that parade, right?
Oh, my God. What?
Right?
Man, you guys have no idea. I just couldn't wait to have a parade. And when we didn't have one, I was very disappointed. But this year, I'm not going to stop. Yeah. I want a parade.
Well, is that the biggest? Like, what is the biggest reason you came back?
Celebrate.
Yeah. What is the biggest reason you?
Because I love this city. I love this team, and they gave me opportunity. Once the season's over with, and was able to talk to the Lakers in free agency. I just let them know, like, I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be here. This is my place. I love it. And let's make the best of this season. Third time is going to be the greatest time. So now I'm looking forward to it.
Third time is going to be the greatest time, yet the second time you won a championship.
Yeah, that's pretty good, too.
What does Dwight 3.0 look like in a Laker uniform?
Well, I would say this is going to be the greatest time because I feel like if you look at our roster, you look at the guys we got, I feel like we have a chance to really start a dynasty here, you know, and be that team. You know, we have an opportunity to be that. And I say that because you have some of the hardest working guys in basketball on one team. You know, a lot of people have called us old and, you know, all these different things, but we have so much knowledge. These guys, including myself, we work extremely hard every day. And you can tell by, you know, our work, you can tell by how long we've been playing in this league, you know. If you look at LeBron, you look at Carmelo, you look at Rondo, you look at AD, you look at myself, all of us work extremely hard. Even our young fellas, everybody loves to play basketball. Everybody loves each other. We love to win and compete. And I think that's what's going to separate us this year is just the love that we have for the game, the love that we have and the passion for winning, the love we have for our city, the love we have for each other. I think it's going to be over the top. And I think it's going to cause us to just exceed, you know, all expectations and just be a great team.
You know, Dwight, despite the injuries the Lakers had last year and throughout the league pretty much, the one thing that we talked about that was really missed was rim protection and inside congestion. You got you know, the big three in there. Talk about how that's going to be brought back, that rim protection, and also a number of lobs to two of the, you know, best dunkers in the NBA.
Me and DeAndre, we got the most dunks in the history of basketball. So, you know, a lot of lobs, a lot of plays in the paint. It's just crazy to think about, you know, me and DeAndre, the most dunks in the history, you know, out of all the players that have played basketball, you know. So it's just amazing, you know, all of us on one team when we have one common goal. We've never had this like this. So we're all looking forward to it. And, you know, the biggest thing is there's no egos, you know. We've all left those at home. We left those in our home cities and away from this facility and away from each other because we understand what's most important is what's on the front of the jersey. And, you know, we represent a lot of people around the world. So a lot of Laker fans, they love us. And, you know, the way we want to show them how much we care is how we represent ourselves when we're playing and off the court and, you know, how we are with our fans. So I think this is going to be an amazing year. I wish I could see you guys today.
Oh, man, Dwight. Man, we had the desk last time. Yeah. Man,
we'll get down to Staples Center eventually. For a game or two.
Okay, I hope so, man. We got to.
Yeah,
we got Mr. Big Game.
Hey, listen, man.
Too, baby.
When Allie and I get to go to practice, I might jump in Dwight's arms the first time. I haven't seen him in a long time, man. I haven't seen him in a long time.
It's been a long time, that list. Man, but you know it's great.
It is great. Listen, he mentioned that list that we showed before. I mean, think about that. The most dunks in history. And you see DJ and you see Dwight up there. LeBron's on that list.
And
AD is on that list. Yeah, it's crazy. I wanted to ask you this because you kind of touched on it. You know, that chemistry between you, JaVale, and AD was real a couple of years ago. You can't make it up, and it's hard to duplicate. How important is it for the three of you to be on the same page, being anchors of this team?
Oh, it's very important. We want to win. We have to dominate the paint every single minute, every single possession. No possessions off, no days off, because we got one common goal. We understand that the only thing that matters is this moment, and we stay locked in. We stay focused. Everything that we've imagined, we will receive this year.
Malik, we were talking earlier with Kent Bazemore, and he said, hey, there's a lot of guys in the 40% club on this team. Obviously, 40% from behind the arc. You are one of them. What can you bring to this team?
Spacing. A lot of open court for all the playmakers we have and all the superstars we got. Then, like you said, Kent said, it's a lot of guys that shot 40, and it just opened everything up for everybody else too. So,
how did you end up here from Charlotte?
Couple calls got made, couple quick decisions had to be made, and I think this is the best choice for me with my career and ongoing my career. I think this was the best business decision I made, was to come here and learn from all these greats, man.
Yeah, was that part of the allure, you know, knowing LeBron was here and Westbrook was here? Can't forget Anthony Davis. How important was that for you?
Man, super important, because, like I said, I just need a lot of knowledge. I've been in the league 5 years. It's my 5th year. I know a little bit, but I can always learn from the guys that's been in here 10, 12, 11 years, and there's a lot of guys on the team that did that. So,
can you envision yourself in the same backcourt as Russ? What would that look like?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I try to picture it every day. Every day I wake up, man, I'm just in awe that I'm on this crazy team, and I'm just thankful, man. I'm able to be here and just be present and just feel all the energy all these guys bring off, man. It's just super overwhelming.
This team is going to score a lot of points, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We just got a lot of pieces, man, and we got to figure out how to work together. But all these guys been here, all these guys been on great teams, and all these guys know how to win, and all these guys want to win too. So it's what all of us do, man. So we just gonna come together, and I think it's gonna be a great year for us.
It's always fun to talk about offense. Got to talk about defense
Got to
too.
talk about it.
Lakers lost some key players during the offseason. How important will that be to establish that defensive identity?
That's what wins everything, man. Defense. You can't let the other team score. That's all that come down to it, man. If they outscore you, then you lose the game. So everything's come down to defense, and I think we got a lot of big threats in the paint and on the wing too to help us out on the defensive end. And like I say, all the knowledge, man. It's a lot of knowledge here that could teach us all the younger guys all the things we need to know. So
you had a great 2-month run in particular with Charlotte last year in February and March.
Yes, sir.
Really bumped up the averages. What was clicking for you in those 2 months?
Me getting to the rim. I was getting to the rim, shooting a little bit more free throws than normally, and that opened everything up for me, and I was just able to keep the defense off balance.
Or it's that easy, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, when you're out there in Charlotte, played against LeBron a couple times a year, what will it be like for you to play with him?
With him. I don't know, man. I can't tell you the answer. Like I said, I'm still in awe that I'm on this team. So I'm just trying to learn everything I can, man. I'm just trying to learn everything I can.
Last one for you. How far can this team go?
It's a lot of world championships in here, man. I think we're trying to get one of those.
Makes sense to me. Thanks for the time, Malik.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it for having me.
LeBron at 1, and there's Carmelo at 2. Carmelo is number 10 all time in buckets, 27,370. And he joins us right now. And that's not even the most impressive thing, guys. He's now top 10 on the New York Times bestsellers list with his new book. What's up, Mello? How we doing?
Number seven to be
Number
exact.
7, yeah. Just to get, by the way, you get that in there. You get that in. That's the jersey number.
Ironic, right?
Oh, man, I love it.
Absolutely.
Mello, congratulations with that,
cool.
by the way. I know you and Geet a couple of weeks ago talked about your book tour. And when you think about it, here you are trying to gear up for your 19th season. You're on a quest to win a championship. All the while, you're also an author. How do you balance it?
It's actually easy. You know, it's easy.
Oh.
I mean, once basketball comes first. That's a no-brainer. You know, everything else after that is just extracurricular activities. So, as long as you're able to stay solid and lock in on what you need to lock in on, you know, you have time and you have room to do other things.
Mello, Big Game's got a smile on his face because I think he's just happy you're finally here. Is that what you're thinking over there, Big Game?
I am, man. I'm very happy. You know, I was fortunate enough a few years back when Mitch Kupchak was GM to sit in on a little presentation, and you know, things didn't work out the way they did, but he's here now.
He's here now,
and that's the only thing that matters. And I have a question, because after 15 or 16, 17 years, people try to write you off, and people try to say, okay, you're at the end of your career. And then you pop up in Portland. I said, damn, I knew it. I knew he wasn't done.
Wasn't even close to done.
Talk about that, man. Talk about how, in your mind, you know, because veteran players have wisdom. They might not be 22 anymore, but talk about how that has evolved from being the Carmelo, who was a dynamic scorer, to now being the, you know, like the X factor now at this point of your career.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all understand the game, right? We all students of the game. So, you know, if you do the history of the game, nobody never stayed the same, right? There's going to always be adjustments that you have to make. You're going to always have to adapt to certain situations and certain roles because of, you know, a big part of that is that narrative of as you get older, you lose something. And for me, I've always, it never was a basketball thing with me. I always believed in myself. I always knew and know what I can do on the basketball court. I always rely on my work ethic, being in the gym, being knowledgeable of the game, sharpening my mental. And I think once I got to that point, basketball just became, it was more easier for me. It was more efficient for me because I put those 10,000 hours in. I put the 20,000 hours in, and behind the doors, behind the scenes at night and in the morning and working out when nobody is there. Like people don't know that. They may hear it, but they don't know that. They don't understand what that takes. And for me to be taken away from the game for that year and some change, that really it rejuvenated me. It gave me a newfound passion about the game from a whole different perspective. And I think what you're experiencing now and what you have experienced when I was in Portland is that passion.
Amen.
Yeah, well said, well said. Spreading the floor in today's NBA, especially with the roster around you, is key. Career best from 3 at 42%. How much work, Melo, and I'm glad you brought up that word before, efficiency. How much work do you put into that part of your game? Because every single year you've gotten more and more efficient from there.
Well, you have to. Listen, the game is getting younger, so you have to still fine tune those skills, and then those knives in the drawer, man, you gotta keep them sharp. And for me, I've always tried to figure out how to stay sharp and how to stay ahead of the game, how to stay ahead of my competition, how to be smarter, how to utilize things differently. Like you said earlier, man, I'm not 22 no more, so I got to go about things a little bit differently. I got to think things through more so now than I had to when I was 22, when I could just go and play off of pure skill, talent, and just being green and just being raw. So, the times have changed, man. But I'm blessed, man. I'm 19 years in this NBA, man. And,
yeah.
This is the NBA's 75th birthday coming up. So, and for me to say that I've almost spent 19, 20 years of that, I'm blessed, man. That's the only thing I can say.
Melo, when it comes to winning, which is obviously your goal, it takes a team. And we've talked to the big three already when it comes to Russell, AD, and LeBron, and each have echoed that sentiment here today. And when it comes to the relationship between you and LeBron, the friendship, we know, goes beyond basketball. Obviously, the battles over the years with the two of you, well documented always. They've always been fun to watch. But you recently just said, at this point of your career, I'm curious, that you needed to hear directly from him. Why was that important when it came to joining the Lakers?
Well, because I know our friendship, I know our brotherhood that we have, I know the connection that we have. And over the years, we've kind of been dipping and dabbing at, let's play together and let's do this and let's do that. But it wasn't that. And at this point in time, where we both are in our careers, I think we both needed to hear that. I needed to hear, I need you, I want you. Like, let's go. I needed to hear that affirmation. Whereas before it was just, come on, I think this would be cool. I think this would be dope. Let's make it happen. It was a different feeling. It was a different vibe at this point.
I mean, Melo, so many.
He's in the background right now dancing.
I mean, so many future Hall of Famers on this team. Like, what's the pecking order? What's the pecking order? Like, who gets to eat first on the plane, the Vegas trip? Who's in charge?
What it is?
Yeah.
I'm the oldest, man, by a couple months. So
yeah,
that's the pecking order right there. But it's a level of respect that we all have for each other, and I think that's the most important thing. We respect each other as not just as basketball players, but as men. And when you have that, you're able to communicate better. You're able to hold each other accountable, more. Because let's be quite frank, man. It's gonna be ups and downs this year. We ain't gonna have it all figured out every time. I would love that. But this is a long journey, and I want to go through all the leaps and hoops and loops and valleys and hills and mountains that we're going to go through. I want to experience that because I know at the end of the day, if we do what we got to do, it's going to make that journey, that much better.
Defense, also some offense. What part of your game do you hope to show more of during this season?
I think the part of my game I want to showcase a little bit more is my defense. just getting after the ball, getting some steals and things like that, getting out of the open court, turning that to some offense.
Yeah, the Lakers definitely lost some good defensive players via trades and free agency. You're one of those guys who might step in there, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, talk about your offense, too. About 15 points a game from Miami last season, 38% from three-point range. Lakers need some shooters. Are you going to be one of those guys?
Of course. That's one of my strengths, and I'll definitely bring that to the table.
When you talk about LeBron and Russ and AD, you play with some pretty good guys in Miami. What will it be like to play with those guys here?
It's gonna be awesome to play alongside of those guys. Great forces, and they open up the court a lot for me. And I would get a chance to do a lot of great things.
Can you picture you and Russ in the same backcourt? What might that look like?
It's up tempo, you know what I'm saying? Coming down, getting up in transition, getting out of upper court, just spacing the floor. It's tough to guard. That'd be tough to guard.
People are talking about AD and how he looks, how he's kind of worked on his strength during the offseason. Do you notice it in just your limited time around him?
Definitely. I mean, he's pretty dominant. You see it as soon as you see him.
I got to talk about Vegas. Apparently you guys had a good trip there, a good bonding trip.
Yeah.
Also some X's and O's stuff. How's team chemistry after a trip like that?
Team chemistry has been great. It's been building every day. The more and more that we're together, the better it's going to be. Guys like each other around the locker room. The energy's good, the energy's high, so we'll definitely continue doing that.
Not that long ago, you played the Lakers in the NBA Finals, your first year in the NBA.
Yep.
It's kind of nice to be on LeBron's side this time.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
What's he like as a player once you get up and close to him?
Just being around him, man, he's a brilliant leader, real vocal, gets the best out of guys, and my potential is sky's the limit. So he's definitely going to bring that out of me and as well as other guys in the locker room.
Last one for you, pretty open-ended. How far can this team go?
The sky's the limit for the team. The goal is we all have one goal in mind, and we all here do it as a collective effort to get it done.
Sounds good to me. Kendrick Nunn, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brez. A patient point guard waiting for Kendrick to finish because he is joining us and he is back. He's a two-time NBA champion. 14th Allie and Big Game James on the all-time assist list.
Bad
and
man.
how nice is it, Rajon Rondo, to be one of the youngest guys on the team now?
Whew, it's amazing. I went from the oldest guy 4 months ago to arguably, like I said, middle of the pack. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling youthful now and ready to go.
I think you know this because coming over from the Celtics, it was a lot of talk about, oh my gosh, Rondo's coming over. And all of a sudden, the championship, the game winner against Boston, everyone loves Rondo, and then you leave. We missed you. We missed you. I hope you missed us. But what was the biggest reason for coming back?
Just winning the championship. You know, the organization, Frank reached out, you know, Rob, Bron, Kurt, I mean, the entire family reached out and said they thought this would be a good fit for me, and likewise. I don't think I was going anywhere else. You know, I knew I was traded to Memphis, but at the same time, I just moved my family out here to L.A. My kids are here with me this year, and I was looking forward to that. So it's just been a blessing, come full circle to come back to the Lakers organization and compete for a championship again.
You know, Rondo, you've heard just about every question, man, over the media day. So I don't really have any questions. But I always say, if the entire coaching staff got kicked out of the game, if Rondo was still out there, we'd be okay.
We'd be okay.
I always say that. So I don't have any questions in particular. Just give me your spiel on where you are in the season and whatever you want to convey to the fans and everybody else. I don't have anything in particular, man. Just go ahead and do your thing.
I kind of know. I want to know what your starting five might be.
just do your thing, man.
I appreciate the compliment, Big James.
Yeah, that's true. I really do believe that.
If that happened, I mean, I would definitely be prepared and ready to go. It'd be a special moment, but obviously that's not going to happen. But it's such a great, talented team we have, and no matter who was coaching, if everybody kicked out, it could be me, Bron, it can be Austin Reeves. You know, it's just a matter of us guys willing to sacrifice and play for one another, and finding the open man. It's pretty simple basketball.
Large in part, that compliment, Rajon, comes because you're one of the most intelligent players our game has ever seen. When you look at the roster right now as it's constructed, what has you excited in terms of the way in which you'll lead inside that locker room?
Just our depth. You know, I think, you know, no one has to burn out minutes. No one has to try to, pace themselves throughout the season. I think we're a very talented team, and in so many positions, guys are interchangeable. We can switch positions. Guys can step up. Guys can take nights off and still compete at a high level. And expectations are to win every night.
Is it kind of crazy, Rondo, to think that championship in the bubble is less than a year ago? Or does it seem like a lifetime ago?
It seemed like it's 4 years
right?
ago.
Yeah, 3-4 years ago.
It doesn't seem like I've been gone for so long. But no, it definitely feels a long time ago, and that's why coming back here this year in particular is big for me, and understand that we definitely want to parade here in Los Angeles.
And you were such a big part of that rotation as that other playmaker. Is that the same role you kind of see yourself as, that guy that can create, give LeBron a chance to not have that ball in his hands and rust the entire time?
We have so many talented guys that can make plays. I do pride myself on that's what I do best is play make. But whatever role this organization, this team asks of me, whatever Frank wants me to do, that's the role I'm willing to step up and do. Whether it's play 40 minutes a night, whether it's sit 40 games in a row, and coach. I'm willing to do what it takes. And I have one common goal. You're 16, no ego here, and I'm willing to do what it takes to win a championship here as a Laker one more time.
Rajon, as you know, it takes a team to get back to the top. But you were also a part of a big three in Boston. And now with the one that you guys have constructed here, in your mind, what's the key to success when it comes and starts with that?
It starts with the big three. It starts with them sacrificing, allowing each other to blossom. Each game is going to vary. There's no, one go-to guy because all three of them are the best at what they do. So being willing for those guys starts with them, willing to sacrifice, and everyone else being ready to step up when their role, when their name is called, when their number is called, and make plays for each other.
Rondo, I remember when Lonzo Ball was in New Orleans, he mentioned your name as a vet that helped him. THT Unsolicited said it on the air. When you look at these young guys around you now, the few that they have, how much pride do you take in that part of the game, in helping those young guys?
A lot of pride. I think it's only right for me to give back. I had great vets when I was a young guy, 20, 21 years old. I had, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, who was my mentors, and they came in every day and showed me what it took. And that's for me to full circle give it back. You're 16. Any young guy, they've always known that I'm willing to help in any way possible, whether it's watch film, whether it's stay and rebound for those guys. It's whatever it takes as an older player on the team to get those guys comfortable and make them more accountable for night in, night out play on our games. That's what I'm willing to do.
Rajon, it's well documented, the relationship, the respect between you and Anthony Davis, going back to New Orleans, and then obviously competing together for that championship in 2020. What have you seen from him lately that has you excited heading into this season?
I haven't seen anything. Everyone's talking about how big he is.
I actually made that.
He's right here beside me. I think he's been doing maybe like 18 push-ups a night or something like that. Maybe getting a little bigger, but other than that, he's still dominant AD. I look forward to helping him any way possible and getting another championship. So everyone's talking about how big he is, but he's the same to me. His neck might be something.
He's the same to me.
Here's a flashback. I got a flashback.
What do you got, big game?
Denver series. Speaking of Rondo and AD, Denver series.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Rondo goes to the coach and says, "Coach, you sure you want me to take it out?"
You want me to take it out, Frank?
He took it out. What happened? He threw it to who?
Bounce pass to AD.
Big
By the
memory.
way,
Yeah,
a little
was,
look away bounce pass.
It was crazy because I think I had about 4 or 5 turnovers that game. So, we had no timeouts. I've already had 4 turnovers. I've been on the sideline ice. So I'm like, let's do it, Frank. And he believed in me, and the rest is history.
The great ones do. They always remember their flaws.
Yeah, he's talking about it. Who cares about the 5 turnovers, Rondo?
Coaching, even while the coach is on the floor.
Yeah.
Still coach.
Big Game's dream is still alive. Of all the coaches getting kicked out of the game, he has said it's time, and Rondo comes in. He still wants it to
Wouldn't
happen.
skip a beat.
All right.
We can't finish yet.
I'm practicing my X and
one.
O's, so I'm ready.
Hold on, we got one, don't we?
I wouldn't doubt that. We haven't talked yet to anyone, Rajon, about Vegas, the mini camp.
Mini camp.
But we heard that there is a nickname for the young guy. For Austin.
The Rook.
I don't know. Besides Rook, there's another nickname?
Man,
You're trying to get
I threw that lob to you.
I mean, I don't.
No?
I can't give you that. He's just Rook to me, both of them. So
He can't give you that information, Allie. But you tried.
Everyone else gave the information,
Not
but
now.
I tried. I did. I did.
Can you give it to us, Allie?
you did.
Hillbilly Kobe?
That's his name? Hillbilly Kobe. Trev's called him light skin already, so I don't know. I don't have anything.
Oh, I love it, man.
Rondo, you're the best.
Rondo, thank you for coming back, man. We appreciate
Welcome back,
it.
man.
And,
Appreciate
we're excited.
it. Glad to be back. Appreciate you guys.
Glad
See
to
you
have
guys
you.
soon.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Oh, that was great. How about this? Active career assist leaders. Look at this list. Okay, CP3, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Rajon Rondo. Man, Allie, he's used to like setting people up, and this time you set him up
I set
perfectly.
him up,
He didn't want that
and
shot. He's like,
Man,
Wouldn't take the
I
lob.
should have known. KYP, Allie, KYP.
He and out of those four, he and Rondo, Chris Paul remind me of the features the most.
Yeah.
And how they affect the game and how they affect others on the court. They're very similar in their roles kind of over their career.
I mean, it's crazy, Allie, when you think of like, and he's not number 13, but when you look at this team and you go down, oh, he's, you know, when he got picked, it was like, oh yeah, Rondo, we're going to have Rondo too. You know, you'd already had 12 guys lined up, and here comes Rondo.
And
So
for
valuable.
any intelligent mind, the one thing you think of when you think of Rajon Rondo, especially when you think of him in a Laker uniform, is the playoffs.
Yeah.
2020. And what he can do in terms of elevating you from an IQ standpoint, the intelligence, the scouting report, the preparation that goes into that, and what it takes
Less than
come
a
the
year
postseason.
It was less than a year ago.
Wow.
It does seem like 4
and
years.
has quietly become a more threat from the three.
Yes.
I know he's not like a Carmelo or any of those 40% shooters, but I've been really impressed at him taking that three the last couple years.
All right, Lakers basketball.